What a difference a week makes. The Minnesota defense giving up 10 points against Purdue 1 week after giving up 55 in a loss to Illinois. Blake Cashman, star linebacker of the Gophers, joining us now from our studio in Minneapolis. And Blake, I'm just going to put this to you as simply as I can. What changed?
You know, it was a tough week. We had to make a change with our D coordinator, but, you know, our team came together and we really, I think what stood out was just how physical and tough we were in practice. We really worked on setting an edge just to eliminate space, make it phone booth tackles, what we called it, because when we looked at the film, especially against Illinois where we struggled, a lot of those missed tackles that led to big plays were because there was just too much space, and that's hard for any defender to make a tackle against guys that are fast and shifty.
You mentioned the decision Rob Smith, the defensive coordinator, let go. What was your reaction when you heard that news?
Obviously, it's very tough. You build relationships with these coaches, and you meet their families, and you know their job is basically based off how well us players perform. So, you know that's tough to see because there's a part of us as players that feel responsible for that. But we all understand that it's part of the business, and you know, it's kind of how college football goes sometimes, and you just got to be able to respond and handle any adversity that's thrown at you and continue to get to work and prepare the way that we know how to prepare.
Well, you certainly responded in a big way, both as a team and you individually. The touchdown was pretty cool to see. Take us through that play and what you're thinking as you're running toward the end zone.
Yeah, it was a play that we had worked a handful of times in practice. We actually had a stunt up front. I believe it was our rush end and our tackle, Carter Coughlin, Gary Moore. They did a great job getting their assignment done, which allowed me to sit and wait for the quarterback if he decided to pull it. And sure enough, he did. And when I went to go make the tackle, he stuck out his arm to stiff arm me. And that's a drill we actually work on in practice all the time, is chopping down the stiff arm and coming to make the tackle. And when I did that, he kind of started falling forward and had the ball hanging out away from his body. So I saw that as an opportunity to, you know, go in and strip it and make the play. And of course, being a defensive player, you know, when the ball's on the ground and you get that opportunity to get six, you got to get home, you got to get in the end zone, because as defensive players, we don't often get that opportunity.
Let's fast forward to this weekend. Northwestern comes in having already won the West. What do you see when you watch them on film?
They're a very disciplined team, very sound. They don't make many mistakes. From a defensive perspective, they like to do a lot of pin and pull their offensive linemen. They got a lot of talented guys. They've done some very impressive things this year, so we know we got to be physical with them and play fast. A lot of what we did against Purdue, we need to be able, as a defense, carry that over to Northwestern. And if we do that, I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
And then, of course, after that, you get Wisconsin. They beat Minnesota 14 straight times, as I'm sure you are acutely aware. How much does that fuel you guys?
That is, that's always the big game of the year. It means more than just a football game, more than just a trophy game, because the whole state's watching, Minnesota and Wisconsin. It means so much to our fans, our school. So, you know, not having it for the last 14 years or so, it's just been brutal, to be honest. And, you know, it's something that we've always felt like we're really close to getting, but we just haven't been able to finish out some of those games against them. But this year, you know, I think we got a strong unit of guys and a good brotherhood that, you know, we're not quitters. And regardless of what happens against Northwestern, we're going to come out fighting against Wisconsin and give them all that we got.
Blake, before I let you go, you were telling me before we started doing our interview that you're headed over now to volunteer at the Children's Hospital in the Twin Cities. What does that mean to you to have that opportunity to give back?
You know, serving giving is a big part of the row the boat culture here. And, you know, it's actually something I've always been doing my whole life, just because my mom growing up worked for a nonprofit. So my family was always involved with volunteer work. So it was almost like a perfect match when Coach Fleck came here. But, you know, really puts your life into perspective when you go over there, and to put the smile on those kids' faces when you show up, just to give them a good time, whether it be 30 minutes to an hour, however long you're there, it's priceless, and it just makes your day. So it's always truly a blessing to go over there, see those kids, and just how much joy they have for the position they are in life. It really changes your life and the perspective you have.
Very well said. Blake Cashman, thanks so much for your time. Really a pleasure to talk to you, and best of luck this weekend and the rest of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.